The dusty streets of Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, have borne witness to a dramatic shift in power. This West African nation, known for its rich cultural heritage and resilient people, has seen its fair share of political upheavals and social challenges. Yet, amidst the chaos, a new leader has emerged, promising to steer the country towards a brighter future. A young leader driven by a vision of a truly independent Africa has taken the helm of this landlocked nation. His name is Ibrahim Traoré, and his rise to power is nothing short of extraordinary. With a deep sense of purpose and a commitment to his people, Traoré has become a symbol of hope and resilience. This is the story of Ibrahim Traoré, a military officer who rose through the ranks to become the voice of a generation yearning for change. His journey is a testament to the power of determination and the impact one individual can have on the course of a nation's history. Born in 1988, Traoré's journey began far from the corridors of power. He grew up in a rural village where life was simple but challenging. From a young age, he was instilled with the values of hard work, perseverance, and a deep love for his country. Hailing from a modest background, he joined the military, rising through the ranks with unwavering dedication. His early years in the military were marked by rigorous training and a commitment to excellence. Traoré's peers quickly recognized his potential, and he was often seen as a natural leader. His sharp intellect and strategic acumen distinguished him, earning him recognition as a rising star within the armed forces. Traoré's ability to think critically and make decisive decisions set him apart from his contemporaries. He was not just a soldier, he was a strategist, a thinker, and a visionary. He quickly gained the respect of his peers, becoming a confidant for soldiers disillusioned by the state of affairs in their nation. His ability to listen and empathize with their concerns made him a trusted figure within the military ranks. Traoré's leadership was not just about command, it was about connection and understanding. Burkina Faso, long plagued by corruption and instability, found its people yearning for a leader who would champion their needs. The streets echoed with the voices of those demanding change, and Traoré heard their call. He understood the deep-seated frustrations of his fellow citizens and was determined to address them. Traoré, with his unwavering commitment to his nation and his sharp criticism of the status quo, emerged as a beacon of hope. His speeches resonated with the masses, and his vision for a better Burkina Faso inspired many. He was not just a leader, he was a symbol of the change that the people desperately sought. He became a vocal critic of the government's inability to address the growing threat of terrorism and its perceived subservience to former colonial powers. Traoré's bold stance against these issues earned him both admiration and opposition. He was unafraid to speak truth to power, and his courage galvanized a movement for change. In 2022, Traoré's destiny took a decisive turn. The nation was at a crossroads, and the need for strong leadership was more pressing than ever. Traoré, with his military background and unwavering resolve, was poised to take on this monumental challenge. He participated in a coup that ousted President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore, who was seen as ineffective in combating the escalating violence and economic stagnation. This bold move was not without its risks, but Traoré believed it was necessary for the nation's survival. The coup was a turning point, marking the beginning of a new era for Burkina Faso. This bold move thrust Traoré into the spotlight, marking him as a leader willing to take decisive action for the betterment of his nation. His leadership style was characterized by decisiveness and a clear vision for the future. Traoré's actions spoke louder than words, and his commitment to his country was evident in every decision he made. He became interim president in October 2022 at the age of 34, instantly becoming a symbol of hope for a nation seeking a new direction. His youth and energy brought a fresh perspective to the presidency, and the people of Burkina Faso looked to him with renewed optimism. Traoré's journey from a rural village to the highest office in the land is a testament to the power of determination, vision, and unwavering commitment to one's country. Ibrahim Traoré's rise to power heralded a significant shift in Burkina Faso's foreign policy. At the heart of his leadership lies a deep-seated belief in Pan-Africanism and a staunch rejection of neo-colonialism. He has openly challenged the enduring influence of France, the former colonial power, in the Sahel region. Traoré's vision for Burkina Faso is one of true sovereignty, where the nation charts its own course, free from external interference and exploitation. His first decisive act as the interim president was to demand the withdrawal of French troops from Burkinabe soil. This bold move, a direct challenge to France's military presence in the region, sent shockwaves throughout the international community. Traoré argued that the presence of foreign troops had done little to quell the insurgency, and in some cases, had exacerbated tensions. He firmly believes that African solutions are needed for African problems, advocating for stronger regional cooperation and self-reliance. Traoré has also been a vocal critic of French economic policies in Africa, which he believes have often favored French interests at the expense of African development. Traoré has actively sought to diversify Burkina Faso's international partnerships, reaching out to countries like China, Russia, and Turkey. These emerging alliances, he argues, are based on mutual respect and shared interests, unlike the exploitative relationships that have often characterized the West's engagement with Africa. With a firm belief in self-reliance, Traoré embarked on an ambitious plan to restructure Burkina Faso's economy. He recognized that true independence required a strong economic foundation, one that was not reliant on the whims of former colonial powers or international financial institutions. Traoré's vision was to build a diversified economy that worked for the benefit of all Burkinabé, not just a select few. One of his first moves was to nationalize key industries, including gold mines, which had long been dominated by foreign corporations. This bold move was met with mixed reactions, with some praising his commitment to reclaiming Burkina Faso's resources and others expressing concerns about potential economic fallout. However, Traoré remained undeterred, arguing that these resources rightfully belong to the people of Burkina Faso and should be used to fuel national development. He also implemented policies aimed at boosting local industries, particularly in agriculture, the backbone of Burkina Faso's economy. Traoré's government invested heavily in agricultural infrastructure, providing farmers with access to better irrigation systems, fertilizers, and training. He also encouraged the processing of raw materials within Burkina Faso, adding value to exports and creating much-needed jobs. To attract foreign investment, Traoré sought to create a more business-friendly environment, reducing bureaucratic hurdles and streamlining regulations. He recognized the need to attract foreign capital, but insisted that it should be on Burkina Faso's terms, with investments that aligned with the country's development goals. Section 4. Turning the Tide, the Rise of Coris Bank, and the Decline of French Financial Influence. In his quest to dismantle the remnants of French neocolonialism, Traoré set his sights on the financial sector. He understood that true independence could not be achieved without economic sovereignty. The financial sector, long dominated by foreign interests, was a critical battleground. For decades, French banks had held a dominant position in Burkina Faso, controlling the flow of capital and influencing economic policies. These institutions were not just financial entities, they were instruments of control, shaping the economic landscape to favor French interests. Traoré saw this as an unacceptable infringement on Burkina Faso's sovereignty, hindering the nation's ability to chart its own economic course. He believed that the presence of these banks was a direct challenge to the country's autonomy and a barrier to its development. He believed that a truly independent Burkina Faso required a robust and independent financial system, one that was answerable to the Burkinabé people, not to foreign interests. This vision was not just about economic growth, it was about reclaiming national dignity and self-determination. To challenge the dominance of French banks, Traoré turned to a homegrown champion, Coris Bank International. This institution represented the potential for a new financial order, one that could serve the needs of the Burkinabé people without external interference. Founded in 2008 by Burkinabé entrepreneur Idrissa Nassa, Coris Bank had rapidly risen to become one of the largest financial institutions in the West African Economic and Monetary Union. Its growth was a testament to the entrepreneurial spirit and resilience of the Burkinabé people. Traoré saw in Coris Bank a symbol of African excellence, a testament to the continent's ability to develop its own solutions to its challenges. He believed that African problems required African solutions, and Coris Bank was a shining example of this philosophy in action. He actively encouraged the bank's expansion, providing it with government contracts and facilitating its access to capital. This support was crucial in enabling Coris Bank to compete with the established French banks and to carve out its own space in the financial sector. Traoré's support for Coris Bank was not merely about national pride, it was a strategic move aimed at creating a counterweight to French financial dominance. By bolstering a local institution, he aimed to shift the balance of power in Burkina Faso's favor. As Coris Bank grew in stature, it began to chip away at the market share of French banks, offering competitive rates and expanding its reach into rural areas. This expansion was not just about business, it was about bringing financial services to underserved communities and fostering economic inclusion. This shift in the financial landscape was a clear indication that the tide was turning, that Burkina Faso was no longer content to remain under the thumb of its former colonizer. The rise of Coris Bank was a powerful statement of intent, a declaration that Burkina Faso was ready to forge its own path and take control of its economic destiny. Section 5. Strength and Unity, the Alliance of Sahel States. Ibrahim Traoré's vision for a stronger, more independent Africa extends beyond the borders of Burkina Faso. His leadership has been instrumental in rallying support for a unified approach to the region's challenges. Traoré's speeches often emphasize the importance of self-reliance and regional solidarity, inspiring many to believe in the potential of a united Sahel. He believes that the challenges facing the Sahel region, from terrorism to poverty, can only be effectively addressed through collective action. The region has long been plagued by instability, with extremist groups exploiting the lack of coordinated defense strategies. Additionally, widespread poverty has hindered development, making it crucial for these nations to work together to find sustainable solutions. To this end, he has emerged as a leading advocate for greater regional integration, championing the formation of the Alliance of Sahel States. This alliance represents a bold step towards unifying the region's efforts in tackling common issues. By fostering a spirit of cooperation, Traoré aims to create a more resilient and self-sufficient Sahel. The AES, established in 2023, brought together Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, three nations that had all experienced coups led by military leaders disillusioned with the status quo. These leaders saw the need for a new direction, one that prioritized the well-being of their people over external influences. These military leaders, having taken power in a bid to address internal corruption and inefficiency, found common ground in their desire to reshape their country's futures. They recognized that their struggles were interconnected and that a united front was essential for meaningful progress. These leaders shared a common goal: to break free from the shackles of neocolonialism and forge a new path for the Sahel. This movement towards self-determination is seen as a critical step in reclaiming their sovereignty and ensuring that their nation's destinies are determined by their own people. Traoré envisioned the AES as a platform for enhanced economic cooperation, security collaboration, and political dialogue. By creating a forum where these nations could regularly meet and discuss their shared challenges, he hoped to build a foundation for long-term stability and growth. He argued that by pooling their resources and working together, these nations could create a more prosperous and secure future for their people. This collaborative approach is designed to maximize the strengths of each member country, ensuring that the benefits of development are widely shared. The AES focused on several key areas, including joint military operations against terrorist groups. By coordinating their military efforts, the member states aim to present a united front against the threats that have long destabilized the region. Another critical focus is the development of regional infrastructure projects. Improved transportation networks, energy projects, and communication systems are seen as vital for boosting economic activity and connecting remote areas to larger markets, and the creation of a common market. This economic integration is intended to facilitate trade, reduce barriers, and create a more competitive regional economy. Traoré believed that by fostering closer economic ties, the AES countries could reduce their reliance on foreign aid and promote sustainable development. This self-sufficiency is seen as crucial for the long-term health and independence of the region. He also saw the AES as a way to amplify the voice of the Sahel on the international stage, advocating for greater representation and a more equitable global order. By standing together, these nations hope to influence global policies that affect their region and ensure that their interests are adequately represented. The formation of the AES marked a significant step towards greater regional integration in the Sahel, a testament to Traoré's belief in the power of African unity. This alliance is not just a political or economic union but a symbol of hope and resilience for the people of the Sahel. Traoré's vision for the AES is a long-term commitment to the principles of unity, self-reliance, and mutual support. As the alliance grows and evolves, it aims to become a beacon of stability and prosperity in a region that has long been in need of both.